Look up to the sky and see beautiful colors. Could you live in the moment like there's no other? Do you also feel sometimes that the only friend is the ocean who understands? I remember when I was younger, the street lights called the day to an end.
I met these guys on the way, and we're going to the post office now to get my bill.
They'll be shutting down that place by Thursday. So
Next stop, Similar Grove, Manchester Road entrance.
Hi everybody, I hope you guys are fine. So it's Marvel here. If this is your first time, you're welcome. So as you can see, this is a really different environment. Yeah, it's different. That's because I'm in the UK. So you guys, a couple of things happened. That's why I've not been able to take videos and post, because it's just been a lot. It has been a lot. From preparing from UAE to, it feels like it was a 9-minute trip, like a trip that I did not know I was coming for like 2 months ago, but I knew. But it is what it was anyhow, sha. So this is just a vlog explaining what happened. It's like a sit down vlog here, just telling you guys about my stay and the whole process of getting into the country and everything that I faced, you guys, everything that I faced. So I left UAE, like this is my second day in the country in UK. I left UAE 2 days ago, and it was Sunday morning stroke Saturday morning. What am I saying? Sunday morning stroke Monday morning, yeah. And on getting to the airport, even before I got to the airport, my bags were super heavy, and I'm like, God, I just need favor right now, because everything in this bag is what I need. I don't think there's anything in this bag that I don't need. My hangers, I ended up leaving them. I have to get new hangers here. My gari, thank God I brought it, but my beans, my rice, I left it. Yeah, because of the weight, but anyhow, I can always still get them around here. So moving on to my story, then I eventually got to the airport, and it was time for me to weigh my boxes, and we got to the airport late. My flight was supposed to be by, I think it was supposed to be by 5. Yeah, we got to the airport by 4, and the counter was supposed to close by 4 o'clock. So we're just like, God, favor, we need favor. So eventually getting to the airport, I went with Egyptian Air. It's not a bad airline. It's my first time, or it was my first time going with the airline, and it wasn't a bad idea going with it. Thing is, I would have actually left since, like I would have left UAE since, but I had an event. I'm like, I need to attend this event, because yeah, I was just like, I need to attend this wedding. It was actually a wedding, and I'm like, I need to attend it. It'll be nice to attend it, like my last wedding in the UAE, like, do you get, before maybe next time I come over and all of that. Anyways, I don't see myself going back there to leave Sha, but maybe later on. That was one of the reasons why I didn't why I did not end up leaving early, because I wanted to attend the wedding. It was on the 5th. So we got to the airport, and it was a really tough one. I started removing things, removed my hangers, removed my beans, removed this one. So eventually the guy that came like after me, they didn't allow the guy. Like, I think the guy, they didn't allow the guy. So I feel like that was literally the favor of God on me for them to have allowed me for even getting there late. Normally, the counter's supposed to close by 4, but thank God for his mercies and his favor. Like, I was just praying for favor. My family was praying for favor. Everyone around was just like, you would find favor as you get to that airport. Even when you get to the UK, favor really, really spoke for me. I'm so grateful for that. So, that's how we left the airport. It was time to board, and then they were delaying unnecessarily. So the way I ended up carrying my things, because I took like a very long winter jacket. I took another one, a brown one, and there was even one black one a short winter jacket of mine that I had to drop because it was making my box overweight. So even the long one, I didn't end up putting it in my box because I had to hold it in my arm. Like, I held it on my arm from the beginning of the trip to the end. So you can imagine so much stress that I went through. So that was how I eventually left the airport. We left UAE. Now, my flight was from UAE to Cairo, from Cairo to London, then take a connecting flight from London to Newcastle, and from Newcastle to Sunderland. Imagine the stress I went through, you guys. It was a lot. It was a lot. I don't know how to explain, but thank God I don't look like what I've been through, but it was a lot. It was a lot, but thank God. I never knew I was that strong. I never knew. Things happen in this life, and then we never know how strong we are until we overcome them, or until we overcome them, basically. So I never knew I was like a strong woman like that. Only me with my boxes. My sister did not even come with me, but anyways. So that's how we left UAE. I got to UK. I got to Cairo. Getting to Cairo, I couldn't connect to the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi was just annoying. It was just messing up anyhow. I couldn't speak to my family to tell them I've gotten to Cairo, but thank God my sister was, monitoring or tracking my flight, and eventually saw that I had reached Cairo. She wanted to check in online for me. Sister of mine, I love you so much. I love you so much. I just have to do this shout out here. I love you so much. My family, I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for everything. Now I'm about to get emotional. Okay. Enough. Okay, so getting to, that even the lateness, because of how late I was to the what's it called, to the airport that's in UAE, I didn't end up there was no time to cry. My sister was even saying that it's best if we're in a rush, there'll be no time to cry. So that's the trick, you guys. If you people are relocating and you're alone and you're going to meet your family and you're very emotional like me, just do it late. Get to the airport late so you will not cry. So that was what happened, and nobody ended up crying. Even though I did a few times before leaving, not at the airport though. Before leaving, normally it's at the airport that people cry because they're hugging themselves. I hugged my dad, I hugged everybody, and I didn't even cry. It was when I got to the plane, when I had reached Cairo, I started looking at videos, pictures, I started crying. I miss my family, but it is well, right? So that was how I got to Cairo eventually. I wasn't able to connect to Wi-Fi, and but my sister was literally tracking the flight. On getting to she tracked the flight. On getting, I've said when I got to Cairo like how many times. So she tracked the flight, and there was actually a delay. I don't know why there was a delay again, but anyways, maybe because I don't know what happened to those flights. Like, there was just delays here and there with those flights. But anyways, it was time for us to leave Cairo, and we left. And then I got to UK. I got to London, Heathrow Airport. And when I got there, I needed to hurry up, get my baggages, and connect to my next flight. Excuse me, and connect to the next flight to Newcastle. But then when I got to where I got my bags late, right? And there was a delay from Cairo as well. So all of that was just accumulated. and I could not stress myself because I'd already been stressed enough. So I got to after I got my bags and all of that, I had to be quick about it. So I eventually got my bags, and then I was asking an official, please, where do I get a flight, connecting flight to Newcastle, to like where do domestic flights basically connect? And he's like, oh, it connects at blah blah. He asked me for the terminal. I told him I wasn't quite sure, but he checked on his phone for me, and eventually he's like, hurry up, you have to hurry up because you would be leaving in like 20 minutes. And in 20 minutes I was still at Heathrow. So and I was supposed to have obviously, you know, checked in at that time, but I was still trying to sort out myself and all of that. So eventually when I got to I had to take a train from Heathrow to meet like domestic connecting flights. I had to take a train. Now, to enter the train, you don't enter with the trolley. You have to drop the trolley. So I had like two big bags, one hand luggage, two backpacks, and I had my long winter jacket that I kept on my arm like this throughout from UAE. So yeah, that one passed, sha. Thank God I was able to maneuver that situation, even though it was stressful as well. It was the most stressful because when I heard that you're not supposed to take the trolley into the train, oh, my heart broke. I'm like, how am I not supposed to carry the trolley? Like, bro, I have how many bags with me? How do you expect me to be dragging? As I'm dragging one, I'll be dragging the other one. But either ways, I was able to overcome. So it was stressful. My bags were just falling anyhow. But thank God. So eventually I got to the airport. I was missing my flight, guys. I was like, my flight was for 2:40. As at 2:30, the train had not moved. It had not moved. I'm like, what's this, God? But anyways, I eventually got to the airport, like where domestic flights were connecting. I went to British Airways, and then I told them the situation, and then they just rescheduled another flight for me. I feel like there was a communication between Egyptian Air and British Airways, so I didn't have to pay for like rescheduling a flight. So I'm so super grateful for rescheduling the flight. I didn't have to pay for it. So like that was another favor. And so one of my bags weighed, I think 26, the other one weighed 29, but they let me in UAE. That's favor as well. But these British Airways people, one man was there, was just talking, like really talking. I wasn't even in the mood to answer him. It was just the lady at the counter that I was dealing with. So she eventually said, okay, that she's going to let the one of 26, or how much? Yeah, 20. Was it 25? I don't know, but I know that my boxes were supposed to weigh 23 each of them, but I know that one was 26 and the other one was like 29. So she allowed the one of 26 go. She's like, she can't allow the one of 29 go. That I have to you know remove some cages from it and put it in my hand luggage or something. And I'm like, my hand luggage is full. So now that was how I started. I wanted to remove the things from the box that weighed 29, and the box is for my dad. I didn't bring the other one because it was small. It would have been perfect, right? But it was very small. So I'm like, let me just go with my dad's box. But it was quite heavy. Like, my dad's box was heavy for me. That was the reason why it weighed a lot. I realized that when I got to the airport. I didn't even think of that, like, on leaving the house. So if you guys know all these boxes that have codes in them where you have to set the code, so I had to, one of the zip was hooked to the code, and my parents have never used it before. They have never like set, anytime they're traveling, they've never set the zipper and the code and all of that. So the Holy Spirit just comes to tell me, put this thing 000, and then immediately I did that, and it worked. It opened, because that was another stress for me. The lady had to go and look for alternative. I was ready to pay for an extra box, an extra kilo at that point. But instead of paying, I realized that, thank God, I used the money for something better. Because at this point, like, I came with limited amount of money with me, at least until my card is ready. But since it's cash, like, that I have with me, so I have to be very prudent in my spending. I know how to spend very well. So eventually, that's what I did, and I had to remove some things from my box to my hand luggage. So I checked in the three: the one that weighed 26, the one that weighed 29, and the one that weighed 29. They will not weigh 29 again, because I'd removed things and I put it in my hand luggage. So I checked the 3 boxes in. I was left with my winter jacket still and my 2 backpacks. So eventually I left there and went to take, we boarded, and after boarding there was a delay again. You guys, I don't know what's wrong with them, and like, these flights are very annoying. I thought it was specific to Kenya Airways, because Kenya Airways, I know that Kenya Airways, they just delay unnecessarily, but I never knew Egyptian Air and even British Airways, they delay a lot. But anyways, if I'm wrong, you guys can tell me. You can correct me in the comment section. So we boarded and we got to Newcastle. Getting to Newcastle, I'm like, God. But I think we're supposed to leave Newcastle. Sorry, we're supposed to leave Heathrow by I think it was by like 3. My original flight that I missed was 2:40. I was supposed to go with the next one by 4. I eventually ended up leaving by 6. So getting to Newcastle, I was like, God, where do I go from here? Because I don't know anybody here. And I'd watched a couple of videos on YouTube, and I've seen like where, like, how to maneuver my way when I get to Newcastle. I wanted to use the train, but the train had closed for the day. So I started talking to my sister. My sister was like, are you sure you will not sleep in the airport? Even me, I started thinking, I'm like, nah, I'm not going to sleep in the airport. No, I'm not going to do that. It's not me that will sleep in the airport. So eventually, I left. I saw like an official. I asked him, like, I didn't know initially that the train for that day had already stopped. It was until the next morning, but since I didn't want to go like the next morning, I wanted to go that day. I still was not sure, so I went to ask the official if there was a way I could change the note with me to coins. After asking him, he's like, oh, go to that kiosk, blah blah blah, and go and change it to coins. So getting there, I didn't even see myself changing anything to coins. I left the airport, went outside. Everywhere was so dark and it was cold. You guys, it was so dark and cold. That cold. I think they use cold to swear for this country, because the kind of cold we they is it choke. It will choke. So yeah, I eventually saw a taxi man, and I asked him, okay, if I were to go with a taxi to Sunderland, how long will it take, and how much would it be? And then he's like 56 pounds. I'm like, okay, so can you take me? He's like, you have to book. I'm like, UAE, where I'm coming from, that you just stop a taxi, and the only reason why you book is if it is Uber, right? That's when you have to book. But I just said, okay, because I don't even have time. He just showed me to where you can book a taxi and all of that. I went there and I saw that I went there basically, and she booked a taxi for me. She said I had to give, since it was cash I had, so I had to give the 56 pounds to the taxi driver. After giving the man, okay, after booking and all that, she's like, your taxi is outside waiting, ready, blah blah blah. So I got there, went outside, waiting for the taxi to come. I didn't actually even wait for a minute. The taxi man, I just saw the taxi. I'm like, are you taxi 11? Or I don't remember the number she called it, and he's like, yes. So he packed my bags and all that. You guys, I wanted to sit, the normal driving position, like in every country, it is on the left, not right. That's why I wanted to sit at the front seat with the driver, right? Thank God I not gonna embarrass myself to sit with it at the right normal place that everyone sits now in front when you're driving with people. Thank God I just gingerly sat at the back. It would have just been very funny and awkward, but anyways, I still ended up sitting at the back. And when I sat at the back, I'm like, it's true, these people's position, they're driving, whatever, is different from our own. So eventually he took me, and while I was in the taxi, I was so scared. It was dark, everywhere looked so strange. I was so scared. I'm like, I need to get to Clanny House because that's where I'm at. I need to get to Clanny House ASAP. I need to get to Clanny House on time because of the time. I need to get to my accommodation on time. So while we were on the journey, I asked him if it was possible for him to branch in a place where I could get credit from. And then he's like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. So I got SIM card. I got a SIM card, and the man was asking me, which particular SIM do you need? I said, anyone. You know, in some countries like Nigeria, where you have just Airtel, MTN, Glo, Etisalat. In the UK, they have a lot. In Dubai, it's just Do and Etisalat. In the UK, they have like a lot. And the guy was like, which one do you? I said, anyone. I said, I just came today. Like, which one do you use? And he told me. I'm like, okay, I'll take yours. What are the benefits? And he told me. So I eventually took it, and we left, got to my school, and that was when this man, the receptionist, told me that the room that you were supposed to be in got burnt. And I'm like, wow, God, I thank you for not allowing me to resume on time, because what would have happened if I had resumed on time? That was how I would have come, right? I've gone for classes, most likely, and then my passport, my clothes, everything would have burnt. It's not me. God is so intentional. I keep telling people, like my friends, my family, God was so intentional about me coming to this land, because first of all, the favor that I received from here and there, everything was just overwhelming. God is so good. Now getting to where did I even stop? Okay, so I eventually got to this place, and the man showed me my room. I liked it, everything. Now the next day that was yesterday. For me to bathe was an issue, because the man has showed me how to use the shower, but it was freaking cold. The water felt like ice block. It felt like ice block. So eventually I had to call like one of my blockmates. Was that what they call the flatmates? And then he helped me. Like, he's like, okay, so this is how you do this is how you, what's the word now? This is how you operate the shower. So I ended up bathing with warm hot water. Thank God. The cold here is a lot. I'm even starting to have like a cold, sore throat, but I'll be fine. So eventually I got here, and yesterday I went to get my BRP. I went to enroll for my courses fully. Thank God I did that on time, because I heard that a couple of Nigerian September intakes that came here, they didn't enroll for their, they didn't do full enrollment for their courses, and so they were sent back to Nigeria. They even had to pay for their flights. They had to pay for their ticket. So thank God my own was not like that. And yeah, I needed to, thank God I just came on time, because the deadline is on the 10th of this month. So I did it yesterday, and I got my BRP while I went to do my what's it called, while I was locating the whole school. Like, how I did it was, you guys download Google Map, please. Google Map will help you around. Google Map helped me, but at a point it started taking me to metro for way to go to University of Sunderland. I'm like, no, it's not that deep now. So I decided to stay at the spot, because from my accommodation I used the Google Map, and it helped. Then it got to a point where it was taking me to the metro to use the metro. I'm like, okay, this one is wrong now. So I now saw a girl passing. I'm like, oh hi, I'm going to University of Sunderland. And she's like, oh, that's where she's going, blah blah blah, that I should come along with her. So I went along with her. She said, but she's in a hurry for her class, so I had to go ASAP. Like, as she was going, she was really far. I had to, follow behind. And eventually I got into the university, and I asked another girl for where I could submit my international documents, and she told me go to. There's a pathway beside Murray Library. I'm sure this would help someone. There's a pathway beside Murray Library. There's a door at that side. So she told me, and then I got there, did all the necessary things, and I was able to complete my online enrollment. However, they told me that my timetable will be out within 72 hours, and I'm like, I cannot wait for 72 hours because I've missed like at least a couple of classes. So I did everything, and then two guys came in. They walked in, and apparently one of them had also resumed the same day I resumed that night. The other one has been here since August. So that's why I asked the other one, I'm like, hi, do you know where I can get my BRP? Because they had actually brought their own BRPs to them, to the international office. Then it's like, oh yeah, you have to go to the post office. I'm like, okay, please type the post office on the location on my Google map. And then he goes on to type it. But then I don't know what was happening. But eventually, me and him went there together, and I collected my BRP. I'm so happy. I never thought I was going to collect my BRP yesterday. At least I know that one is over. I'm done with that one. And I've completed my online enrollment. So yeah, after getting my BRP, I'm like, okay, I need to get something to eat. I've not eaten. So I got something to eat, and yeah. And then he advised that I open a particular bank account. So he mentioned a couple of banks. I'm like, okay, I prefer to go with Revolut Bank. So I've opened it. I'm expecting my card very soon. So that is just what has been up with me. Later today, I might be going to get like a bowl for food because I left my bowl as well. It broke. So I left that. I might be going to get just a couple of things. What else am I even supposed to do? I'm supposed to get the bowl. I'm going to the student affairs to find out if there's a way I can start my classes without having to wait for 72 hours. And I also need to check like the closest post office or whatever it's called in Clanny House here, where I can get my student ID card, or go check if my student ID card is ready. So that's just what has been up, guys. I said let me do this video because if I'm waiting for the perfect time, I will not do a video. I will not make like a proper video. So this is just a sit down video on my whole trip. I did not have time to vlog anything, you guys. No time. I actually have pending videos, and I don't know, I think this one is definitely going to come before them. Pending videos that are taken in UAE, but they were on my dad's phone. I didn't have enough storage, so I had to, you know, it was when I got a new phone. And when I got a new phone, it was already late. The wedding that I attended, to packing, because I did not pack my things properly. So I literally started packing a few hours to when I was supposed to travel. So yeah, I don't know how to pack. That's what happened. I thought I knew how to pack, but I did not pack well. So eventually, yeah, that's just what has been happening and what has happened so far. I'm sure you guys have enjoyed this video and you guys learned one or two things. I'm super grateful to God for the favor that he granted me, for me not seeing shame, for making everything easy for me. So yeah, I think I'm going to be showing you guys my room, just a couple of things. It's a bit scattered now because I've not had time to arrange it. I literally just came basically. So, and yesterday I needed to sort out my room and I did not have time, and by 4 you guys, it's already dark here. That's so weird, but I think it's because of the weather anyways. So I did not have time and all of that. I guess I'll do the arrangement tomorrow. So here's my room. That's my sink. Yeah, that's it. So this is how my room looks like, and this is my bed. All right, guys, I'm sure you enjoyed this video. Please make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you share if you actually enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching today. Bye. See you. And ignore my nails. I've been trying to look for how I'll remove this thing, but could remove. Anyways, bye guys, and see you in my next video. See you in my next video. Bye bye.